I was actually born in Chennai,
Okay.
but I lived here. So like my mom's oldest sister was a nurse at that hospital. So I was due, they drove up, had me, and then 3 days later came back here.
Ah, okay. Hey, this is exciting. This is a fun part for me. I am with TJ Moranyanga. Did I get that right?
Maguranyanga.
Maguranyanga. I promised I was going to get it right. I was close. But listen, this is really cool for me because if you think God is not working these weird ways of putting people together, so I'm going to have him put on the screen here a picture of me in my Redskin gear.
Yeah.
They are the Redskins, by the way, the Washington Redskins. We can argue about that. But what's really cool is, you know, I came my first time in Zimbabwe in 2018. Started ZimworX. We've now grown tremendously, and then kind of through a strange connection found out that TJ was actually playing for the Washington Commanders, Redskins. And so I was actually going to a game in December.
Yeah.
First game I'd been to, I don't know if I told you that, I hadn't been in 10 years to a game. I just don't go to a lot of games. And got to go into the players' tent, meet TJ. But here we are in Zimbabwe, right in the middle of Harare. And this is an honor for me because I'm such a big Redskin fan. I won't call them Washington fan, the NFL Washington team. But this is really great. But TJ, how in the world, you were telling me the story a little bit more in depth yesterday, but well, first of all, tell me what it's like to be a kid from, and you are a kid, he's only 23, that's a kid. When you're a kid from Zimbabwe, what's it like playing in the National Football League?
It's huge. It still feels pretty surreal. Like I'm only the third Zimbabwean to play in the NFL. So, yeah, like now that I'm back home now after a full season, like I really see how big it is. Like the amount of people who now recognize me and are like, hey dude, what you're doing is crazy. So it feels amazing.
Yeah, I can't imagine because probably this was your first season.
Yeah, it's my first season.
And once you got through the season, you probably are able now to kind of reflect.
Yeah.
And really get a semblance of how big that was as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But tell the story on, I love the part about writing the letter. So tell that story again, because that's fantastic.
So it's beginning of 2024, and I was on loan. So my primary team, Clermont, had just told me in
Explain
December.
what on loan means, because a lot of people watch this.
So yeah, loan isn't a thing in the NFL, but in rugby and soccer, if let's say you're injured, you can get traded to a team in another division, or lower division, lower league, and you're on loan there for a season or for 6 months, and you get to play and get some game time and get healthy. So that's what I was doing because I just come off a big knee injury. And I'm watching the IPP's program for 2024, and I'm like, this is pretty cool, I'd love to do that. So I wrote an email, but didn't send it.
Yeah, so you typed out the whole email.
Typed out the whole email.
You're gonna send it?
Didn't send it, and I just prayed about it. I was like, if this is part of God's plan for me, it'll come to fruition, because as talented as I am, it's all come from God.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand how I got to France at 18 and I was a hot shot, and now I'm 22 and my career hasn't quite gone the way I wanted it to go. So John 13:7 says, and Jesus replied to, I believe, his disciples, and saying, you may not understand now, but later on you will.
Wow.
So that's kind of the way I viewed it at that time. So fast forward to May, our season ends on a Friday. And then on the Sunday, I'm in Barcelona now. Team president paid for us to have a vacation there for the weekend.
And you didn't know what your next thing was, right?
I was out of contract at that time. And the Sunday morning, I wake up to an email from Mark Dalgarian, the lead international scout for the NFL. And he was like, we'd like you to try out for our international pathway program.
Wow. Yeah, and I think it was interesting. You were supposed to go to London to do that.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to London to do that, and my visa got denied twice because they couldn't verify that there was an NFL academy in the UK, which is crazy to me. But yeah, they flew down to Cape Town in November, and I had to work out there and made the program.
Yeah, and I think you told me they called you like within the hour or something.
Yeah,
right?
like 2 hours later, I was at the airport actually to fly back from Cape Town to Joburg because I was supposed to have surgery for my kidney.
Yeah.
And Dominic called me. He was the lead of the IPP at the time, and he's like, man, we'd love to have you in Florida for the program.
Wow. Take all that and get into the program. I mean, the impact you're having. I mean, that's kind of interesting. You're right. You're a hotshot rugby player at 18, thinking that I'm setting the world on fire. injury. What are you going to do next? You're still super young, right?
Yeah.
And then here you are, and you're going back to Washington this next year to play in a second season. So that's just tremendous. I think it's also a testament, though. So many times we try to make something happen in life, and most of the time that fails. Mm-hmm. But when we let God work in our lives
100%.
and open doors and make things happen, totally changes the perspective. So, I mean, he's living proof of just so everybody knows, he never sent the email, and then they still called him. So that's just an incredible story, and we know you're making a great impact. You played, I know you played the whole game at Denver, right?
Yeah.
And I want to include that because I thought that was interesting. It was so when you're on the practice squad, which is where the international players typically would be, you don't dress out for the games. You practice, but if they call you up for that week, you play in that game, and you played in Denver. And I asked you when I saw you, I said, what was that like playing the NFL versus rugby? So what was that like playing in Denver?
It was crazy. It was Sunday Night Football, so that's like the biggest game you can play. It's primetime TV. Everyone's watching that game. My family was up at 3 a.m. watching the game, so it was really cool. I grew up watching the Broncos play because of Von Miller.
Yeah.
And now I was getting to play against them with Von as a teammate. So as you can imagine, like I had a lot of nerves, and like running out is so cool because in rugby it's only really in like World Cup finals where you really have fireworks going off and the flares and all of that. But with NFL games, especially, Thursday night, Sunday night, Monday night, that's a regular thing every week. So
it really is. It's fireworks at those games.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hype, right?
Exactly. So I was running out and, fireworks going off, and I'm just like mesmerized by everything. And then you have the national anthem, and like it was so entertaining. And yeah, it's probably one of my best moments of my life because like that's when I really my dream came to fruition of playing in the NFL. So yeah.
That's incredible. I mean, I just don't think people understand how incredible the story is. A young man from Zimbabwe playing in the NFL, which you don't realize how exclusive that is. People are always like, well, there's 32 teams, but there's only 53 players on a roster. Yeah. What is that, 1,600 players that are playing, and you've got 120 schools feeding that from Division I, not including all the Division IIs and coming international. So it's a small percentage that ever even get to even go to tryout, much less play a game. So congrats to you.
Thank you so much.
Really big. So you're back in Zim. Lucky we were here at the same time. Mm-hmm. Got to spend some time together. Yeah. You've got to see our operation here, which at this time we're now coming up on 1,800. Mm-hmm. What have you thought about? How does that play in the environment and the culture? What does that do for the people?
I think it does a lot. I think one of the biggest problems we have in Zimbabwe right now is unemployment. Yep. We've got a lot of educated guys and girls coming out of high school, coming out of varsity, and they don't have jobs. So for ZimworX to now have opened up, 1,800,000 jobs is huge.
Well, we're excited. We're excited about what we're doing in Zimbabwe and Zambia and Costa Rica and other places, but I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Mainly because I'm a Redskin fan. And that's cool, but I'm really excited for you. And by the way, that's the real logo. He's got on some old gear, but I'm not sure what it is.
Going to get me in trouble with the team.
Better not show this to them. We'll keep it away. No, tremendous story. And I think people love to hear a story about success, but the underdog too.
Yeah.
Because truly, everybody loves the underdog, right?
Yeah.
And I think that this just shows you what you can do with not only a lot of heart. I mean, I want to back up and say, it's not like you were just hanging out until you were 18. You were working out hard. And he's a big guy. I'm a pretty big guy, but he's a big guy. And so you don't get there just by showing up.
True.
There's a lot of hard work. And that continues to be the case as you get back in. Well, TJ, we wish you the best of luck. Excited that you're living out a dream, and I'm going to see you at the Super Bowl.
For sure, one day.
Yeah,
Thanks
absolutely.
for having me.